Hi, welcome to Scriptures Unveiled. We're doing part 2 of working out your salvation.
Yes, and we were reading from Philippians 2:12 and 13, and it reads, "So then, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling." And Jeanette, we were talking about in the previous video how obey is just responding to that inner persuasion of God from within.
Yes.
And then that working is an inner work as we're responding to God's inner persuasion, and it's personable. And that fear is not like a definition of fear in our English terminology, which is being afraid and, straying away. But that fear in Greek actually means reverence and respect, which causes one to be in awe of God.
Yes, in awe.
And that word trembling in Greek is being excited about the goodness of God.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
very different fear and trembling.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, and we can see that actually, going into the Old too, because, the Old Testament conceals to reveal the New Testament.
Yeah, that's
or the
good.
New.
Yeah.
And so there's a shadow of this in Jeremiah 33:8-9. So I'm going to read that. So,
Okay.
And it says, "And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity by which they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all of their iniquities by which they have sinned against me, and by which they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, praise, and glory before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all of the good that I do for them. And they shall fear and tremble because of all the good and all the peace that I make for it."
Ooh,
I
that's
know.
good.
See, that's the good.
That's good.
And then in
Yeah.
Psalms, actually, there's a real short thing in Psalms at 16:66 that says, "Come and hear, all who fear God,
Yeah.
and I will tell of what He has done for my soul." See, so this
I love
really
that.
good news, like we're speaking the good news.
Yeah.
It lifts that soul.
Yeah. Ooh,
You know,
that's good.
that, and it's an awe that is just really attracts.
Yeah.
It doesn't retract.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause a person to pull back.
Yes.
But it draws them in.
Ooh,
And
that's
in
good.
the Hebrew word,
Yeah.
actually this is the Hebrew that comes right from Jeremiah.
Okay.
The Hebrew word for fear
Yeah.
is pakad. And that means to be in awe. Literally, I mean, that's what it means.
I love it.
And trembling in the Hebrew, in
Yeah.
the same scripture,
Yeah.
ragaz,
Yeah.
it means to be excited.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
See, so that's the Old Testament
Yep.
revealing the New.
The new. That's
so
good.
it's the new fear and trembling.
Yes. Come on.
Not the old,
Yes. Come
where
on.
they shook in their boots.
Exactly. Exactly. I
And
love
then
it.
the NASB,
Yeah.
the translation
Yeah.
as work out your salvation with
Yeah.
fear and trembling.
Yeah.
Different translations, because
True.
a lot of times we put it into our English language in order to make
do.
it a little bit more sensible.
Yeah, we do.
But then sometimes it just kind of like changes the way things set up.
Yeah.
And in the way that
Yeah.
it's put, and it's not a wrong way, but
Yeah.
just the way it's put, is the verb working out is first.
Yeah.
Making it look as if the fear and trembling are verbs.
True.
But they're not.
They're not.
So
That's
the
good.
working out your salvation for fear and trembling, it just appears that way. But the interlinear Greek, which
Okay.
is the actual original translation,
Yeah.
says it this way: "With fear and trembling, your own salvation works out." Do you see that?
I love it. You can see the entire difference.
So
Yeah.
fear, trembling, nouns.
Exactly.
Salvation, a noun.
Yep.
Meaning these are people. This is an identity.
Yep.
Works out, verb.
Yep. Works out for
So it's like, so when you know
Yes.
that you have that awe of
Yeah.
God, you're excited
I love
and
that.
you're in awe of Him,
Yes.
then that's what works out.
Yes.
That life.
Yes. That's good.
So,
And I love it. Yes.
yeah, isn't that amazing?
It is.
So, putting the fear and trembling,
Yeah.
the nouns first, it just changes everything.
It
And the
does.
workout last, it just changed it all.
Yes. It removes the responsibility for us where we're feeling like we have to work it out in
Yes.
fear and trembling of the Lord rather than it being God working it out. And that's
Yes.
where we're going to now, where it says Philippians 2:13, for it is God who is at work in you both to will and to work for his good pleasure.
Yes, that's awesome.
It
See, that
is.
just ties right in.
It does, because that is God working it out, our salvation out
yeah, it
in
says
us.
it right there. God works it out.
Yes, he is. He's the one working out his conclusion in us, working out his salvation in us, which is that restoration of our identity,
Yes.
our redeemed innocent, and that working in Greek means engaged in. It also, the root word of working also means inside or within. And in the realm as in the condition or state which something operates from the inside.
Yes.
And it's a deed or action that carries out, completes an inner desire.
Wow.
Yes. And that is God working out his inner desire, his initial intent in us.
Wow.
And that
yes.
initial intent was our original identity in him. Our eyes being unveiled to that. It's always there, but we're growing in the awareness of that. That's
Yes.
that working out.
That working out.
Yes, because it's complete. It's been completed. That deed is the deed of Jesus. It's that completed work on the cross. So we're not working towards completion. Our eyes are being made more aware
of our completion.
Yes.
Yes.
That conclusion that we talked about in the previous.
Yes.
Yes. So I love it. And it says, for he is at work on the inside of us, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. Now, will in Greek is theola, and it means design, desire, and it's commonly used of the Lord extending his best offer to a believer.
Wow.
Wanting and desiring to birth his persuasion in us.
Wow.
Yes. His best offer.
Yes.
Yes. And that work is the same work that we talked about previously. And it's also working in a situation which brings it from one stage or point to the next, like electrical current energizing a wire, bringing it to a shiny light bulb.
Like
I know.
Yeah, like the energizing wire. Wow.
Yes,
Yeah, and that's in the actual definition.
It is. That's the actual definition of work in the Greek. Yes. So, beloved, we are the light bulb that has been so dimmed or blown out that God, in his persuasion and his desire, has awakened our eyes to the loveliness of who we are.
Yes.
Yes,
I love
to be that shiny light bulb. And this is for his good pleasure. And this is the beauty of it, because that good pleasure in Greek is the word eudokia, which means happiness, satisfaction, favor, delight of man, to be well pleased.
Yes.
This is the pleasure of God is us. He's well pleased. Remember when Jesus came and he said, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased.
Yes.
That was God speaking to us because we forgot our identity. Jesus came to remind us, and he's letting us know that he is well pleased.
Yes, right now in this world.
Come on.
Yes.
Satisfied.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, to summarize, we are his good pleasure.
Yes.
This empowers us to see our original design restored in him by his doing.
Yes.
So he worked out the end conclusion of our salvation.
He did.
And when we see this, his goodness in what he has done, it causes an excitement and awe in us and in our soul that just it responds to him, which is in obedience.
Yes, come on.
That responding is the obedience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Us
So,
responding in that he's delighted in us.
yes.
Yay.
And so next time, let's talk about obedience.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
And so thank you for joining us.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the comment button.